What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and today we're going to talk about NIO. So this is a company that we have talked about pretty significantly, on this channel. But oh, come on, why are they giving me Kathy Wood pop-ups? It's a stock that we've talked about pretty significantly on this channel. I've done a lot of deep dives on NIO. We go over a lot of NIO news. It's a company that a lot of people ask me about, and they just had their Q4 earnings. The stock is down about 10% right now. We're going to talk about that once we look a little bit more into like the technical side of things. But first, I want to go over the actual earnings report and then kind of where do I see things going from here. To be quite honest, if you're a fundamental long-term investor in NIO, while they did fall short, I honestly really don't think that it was that bad of earnings. I think right now we're seeing this slip in the price simply because of how, I'll say it, how overvalued the company is. And when you get thousands of percent return growth in the stock price within a year, you have to put some ridiculous numbers out. And, that just didn't happen this quarter. But still, I think a pretty strong quarter. Before we get into it, if you do want to be a part of my private academy, get access to all my trades and investments live, get access to our private Discord with 556 other members. As well, you also get access to our 60-hour course library, and you get to live stream with me every single morning. I'll put the link down below. You can start for $10 your first month. But let's get into the actual report first, and then we'll kind of talk about prices and like supports and where do I see this going. So NIO reports a wider Q4 loss despite revenues topping over $1 billion. So NIO reported mixed quarterly earnings with inline fourth quarter revenues, but a wider than expected loss. The revenue guidance for the first quarter was above consensus estimates. The EV maker also announced a month-over-month decline in deliveries for February. So let's take a look at some key metrics for NIO. They said that their fourth quarter revenues climbed 133% year over year and increased 46.7% quarter over quarter to 6.6 billion yuan or $1 billion ish. Excluding items, the non-GAAP loss per share was 93 won or 14 cents. So they actually had a loss of 14 cents this quarter. Analysts on average had an estimate of a loss of 7 cents per share on revenues of $1 billion. So even though they're putting up $1 billion in revenue, they are still losing money. And this is something that, you'll notice with a lot of EV companies, but, Tesla has been able to get over that, even though they don't post a huge profit. It's not cheap to make these cars. But the problem is when you want to make a car like a vehicle like this, especially to the mass market over in China, you have to make it affordable. So like a lot of these EV car companies, they're barely making a profit on these cars. And you can see where, $1 billion in revenue, they're still losing money. In the same period last year, the company reported a loss of 39 cents per share and revenues of $406 million. In the preceded third quarter, revenues were $666 million on a non-GAAP loss of 12 cents per share. So obviously much better, Q4 revenue than last year. They've had a huge 133% year over year growth. It's amazing. But like I said earlier, the stock is taking a bit of a beating because it's just so overpriced. But, not bad fundamentally for the company. Not bad. They ended up, doubling their revenue. But the only thing I really want to see is that their net income. So for those of you who are newer investors, hopefully everybody knows net income here, but we'll talk about it. Essentially, it's your operating income minus your operating expenses. So in this case, they're net losing money. What you want to see is a company's revenue continue to go up, but you also want to see their net revenue go up, which it has a bit here, but they're for how much their revenue has climbed, I would really like to see their net revenue go up and at least post a close to profitable quarter or even a break-even quarter. But it's whatever. NIO had earlier guided to their fourth quarter revenues of $921 million to $947 million, which they obviously beat that. Vehicle sales also came in at $946 million, up 130% from a year ago and 44% higher than the previous quarter. Fourth quarter vehicle margin was at 17% compared to a 6% of negative margin the year ago. So like you see, they were losing money selling cars last year. Now they're making a 17% margin, which is, not bad. That obviously can definitely be worked on, but still. Cash and cash equivalents, restricted cash, and short-term investments was $6.5 billion at the end of 2020. If you guys don't know how to read a balance sheet, I have made videos on them way, way, way in the past. I'll probably make another video on how to read a balance sheet, but those are all within them. Deliveries for NIO's momentum falters in February. NIO confirmed in early January its deliveries of 17,353 vehicles within the fourth quarter, a 111% year-over-year growth, and the delivery momentum accelerated further to the start of 2021, with January deliveries climbing over 350% to 7,000 vehicles. In the earnings release, the company disclosed February numbers, which came in at 5,000. So obviously a decrease month over month, which is not the hottest. When we take a look at the actual price action on the stock, you can see like obviously we're down 8% today, but we're still even. The stock was up over 8.5% today, and actually at one point almost 10%. So still we're even for the day. You see we have a very strong support here at $46, $45. And I do think that we will end up bouncing. I do think money is going to come in and start flowing in, buying it up once we hit that price level. I don't think we're going to break 46. However, if we do break 46, and I talked about this on my Traders Helping Traders channel, if we do break 46, which would be right around this 100-day SMA, and we close below it again, it could be a pretty quick fall down to $30. Talking about a 36% loss potentially in a month and a half, but I don't think that's going to happen. You can see we have a huge bull flag that's forming here, and this is technicals. Remember, none of this matters from a fundamental standpoint, but it's still something that I want to bring up in case you are a trader or you are somebody who you might have gotten in at $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7. You're thinking, when should I take some profits? Maybe watch these price levels. But that $46 price level, that's something I would definitely be watching. I wouldn't go cutting it if it just breaks 46, but if we get back down to 44, 42, it could be a time to, get out of that. But I think we're going to bounce at 46, 45 range, and I think we're going to see NIO continue to push up to about $66, $67 within the next 3 to 6 months. But overall, if you're a fundamental investor, you got nothing to worry about. I do think the stock is short-term overvalued. I don't really think it's fairly valued here, but it doesn't mean the price of the stock can't go up. I've been doing this full-time for 7 years, and I'm telling you that while something might not fundamentally make sense, it doesn't mean that the stock won't continue to move to the upside. You know what I mean? But overall, guys, thank you for all the support. Congratulations to anybody who bought NIO on the dip. And if you're somebody who is a fundamental investor who might be down a bit right now, remember, patience is key and patience is your greatest weapon. Thank you guys for all the support. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. It's the easiest way to support small YouTubers like myself. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Peace.